How is JavaScript's async await syntactic sugar over promises? Imagine you're trying to read a book, but every time you turn a page, you have to wait for a response from a friend to tell you what happens next. That's kind of like how asynchronous JavaScript works. You ask for something to happen, and you wait for it to finish before moving on. Now, JavaScript has a way to handle this waiting period called promises. Promises are like promises you make to yourself that say, "I will do this later." They representing operations that will complete in the future, like fetching data from an API. You handle these promises with then and catch methods, which tell JavaScript what to do when the promise is fulfilled or if it fails. But sometimes chaining these then calls can get messy and hard to follow, especially when you have many steps. That's where async and await come into play. When you declare a function with the async keyword, it automatically returns a promise. Inside this function, you can use the await keyword to pause execution until a promise resolves. Think of await as a way to tell JavaScript, "Hold on, I need this data before I continue." When the promise resolves, await gives you the result directly, making your code look and feel like normal synchronous code. This means you can write code that reads from top to bottom without nested callbacks or chain then calls. Error handling also becomes clearer. Instead of using catch, you can wrap your code in a try and catch block, which is more familiar to many developers. For example, instead of writing a chain of then calls to fetch data and handle errors, you can write an async function that uses await to get the response, check if it's okay, parse the JSON, and handle errors all in one smooth flow. Remember, async and await are built on top of promises. They don't replace them. They just give you a cleaner way to work with the same underlying asynchronous operations. This makes your code easier to read, write, and maintain. So, mastering how async and await work as syntactic sugar over promises is a big step toward writing more efficient and understandable JavaScript code for web development.